Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Sanya Arif, lecturer in the Faculty of Management Sciences at the University of Wa. Today, I will teach you a very interesting topic, attitude and job satisfaction, from my favorite subject, organizational behavior, which studies the personality, the cognitive side, emotional side, and behavioral side of the employees at their individual group and the organizational level. Uh, this subject is very important, especially when we talk about the workplace, because it is very important for any organization to know the feelings, the attitudes, and the behaviors of the employees when they are at their job and what they think about their job, how they find their organization for themselves. Are they happy with the organization and the job they are performing or not? It is important to study all these things so that the detrimental or you can say the harmful behaviors or negative behaviors, intentions, emotions, and attitudes of the employees can be identified at the right time and can be addressed in a positive manner, just to make sure that the organizational performance can be increased by fixing the negative behaviors, attitudes, and the intentions of the employees at their individual group and the organizational level. Here is the agenda for this lecture. We will, of course, introduce the attitude by defining it. Then we will discuss the components of it, um, some of the job attitudes, and which are very famous when we talk about the workplace attitude. Then some of the causes for the job satisfaction, which is a very, very important job attitude. Then we will discuss the impact of satisfied and dissatisfied employees on the workplace. What is attitude? Attitude is normally considered as a very negative term. Like if someone is not behaving uh, the way you are expecting him to behave, then we usually name it as attitude. Or if we are not able to understand why a person is behaving like this, or this is not what I was expecting from this person, we label it as attitude. But this is not the attitude. Then what is attitude? Attitude is evaluative statement, which we usually name it as judgment. So judgment about object, um, person, or the event is named as attitude in organizational behavior. So we can say now attitude is the way we are interpreting a situation, might be, or based on interpretation, whatever the judgment we are making regarding any object, this is the attitude. It can be either favorable, like if I'm liking my job, I'm satisfied with my job, I am committed with the organization. Um, if I am engaged in my work, I am fully involved in whatever I am doing at my workplace, then all these attitudes would be considered as favorable attitudes. My commitment, my uh, job involvement, my engagement with the organization. Similarly, attitude can be unfavorable as well. Like if I am dissatisfied with my job, so my dissatisfaction, my low job involvement, my organizational disengagement, and lack of organizational commitment would be some of the attitudes which are unfavorable for the organization. In simple, if I tell you favorable and unfavorable, favorable means the attitude which are beneficial or good for the organization, and unfavorable attitudes would be all those attitudes which are not in the favor of organization, or which might be harmful for the organization. Uh, then they reflect how we feel about something. Of course, if I don't like my job, my commitment with the job or the organization would be lower. So this is the way the attitude would be reflecting in my job performance. When I say I like my job, I'm expressing my attitude about my work. Similarly, if I like my supervisor, let's say this is again my expression of attitude about my supervisor. Now we have different three components of attitude. Number one is cognitive component. Cognitive component is cognition based, or it is the belief or the thinking about anything. Like my thinking about my job would be the cognitive component. My cognition or my thinking, the way I used to think about my job, is my cognitive component of the attitude. So if I say my pay is low, this is what I judge about my pay. So this is the my belief system or thought about my pay. So this is a cognitive component. Similarly, student thinks my studies are very tough. So this is his or her evaluation about these studies. So this is again based on psychological side or cognition based. So it will be labeled as cognitive component. Then the second component of attitude is affective component. Affective means affect or emotion, or when feelings are there. So feeling or emotional side of the attitude or portion of the attitude would be considered as affective component. Affect is the emotional or feeling segment of an attitude. Like if I say I am angry over how little I am paid, so this is what I am feeling about my pay. It's not about what I'm thinking about it. Okay, this is my emotion involved in this statement. I'm angry over. Anger is my emotional segment of the attitude, or my feeling about my pay. I'm angry over how little I'm paid. This is the affective component of my attitude. Similarly, the example of the student regarding studies, I'm worried. Worry is an emotion or feeling. uh, I'm worried about how tough my studies are. So both of these statements are affective components. Then we have the third component of attitude, which is behavioral component. Behavioral component is the intention to behave, or a portion of attitude where a person is just about to act in a certain manner, like we think, oh yes, now we know we are just doing this thing. So this is the behavioral component. It is not the behavior which is observable by others, but it is a phase just before behaving in a certain manner. So if based on the previously shared two examples regarding the low pay and the toughness of the studies, the behavioral component would be I'm going to look forward for another job that pays better. Okay, my pay is low, so I'm angry on it. So now I am going to look for another job from where I can be paid. I can be able to earn more. So here I actually didn't go for uh, having another job or looking for any other opportunity to switch my job or the organization. But I have decided to find out some better job where I can earn more or get better pay. Similarly, I'm going to leave my degree or leave my studies. So this is what I just have decided, but I didn't do it yet. Okay, this is a phase where I have decided what I have to do, what would be my access. So this is the behavioral component. All these three components combined together will be translated in a specific form of attitude that can be any type. Here is the an example chart. You can say cognition is basically evaluation based, which is based on the cognition or thought, what we are thinking about phenomena, or the person or object and something. So here, example is my supervisor gave a promotion to a co-worker who deserved it less than me. My supervisor is unfair. Based on the promotion, uh, I have thought something about my supervisor, that my supervisor is unfair. The affective or feeling based component of it would be I dislike my supervisor. Then the behavioral component, I am looking for another job. I have complained about my supervisor to anyone who would listen. So this is a negative attitude toward supervisor. Now let's discuss some of the major job attitudes. We are a very famous, you can say, the job attitude over here, which is job satisfaction, which is a positive feeling about the job resulting from an evaluation of its characteristics. Or simply, you can say what I was expecting in my job, the way my job would be, or the list of duties I will be doing at my job, I am getting the same thing. It would be labeled as job satisfaction. What I was expecting, I am getting the same is the job satisfaction. Job involvement is the degree to which people identify psychologically with their job and consider their perceived performance level important to self worth. Okay, this is the psychological identification of an employee with his job, and his perception about the performance based on the importance of his contribution in the organization. If you find your job is important in the goal achievement, then you will be highly involved in your job. Then we have another job attitude, which is organizational commitment. It is the psychological attachment and the loyalty of an employee to the organization, uh, which shows the willingness to stay in the organization or to continue the job in the same organization. Then another job attitude is perceived organizational support. This is the degree to which employee believe that the organization value employees' contribution and cares about his well-being. Uh, the level of support the employee is getting from the organization, and it is perceived. Like if I want to avail leave for 10 days, so I'm just thinking like my organization will allow me. Or if I'm having any medical issue, so organization will provide me some medical benefit. So it would be my perceived organizational score. Then we have another important job attitude, which is employee engagement. It is individuals' involvement with satisfaction. We can say this is the interest and eagerness of one's working in the organization. It is the employee engagement. Here we have some of the causes uh, for job satisfaction. First one is the interesting job. If I find my job interesting, I'm getting what I wanted in my job, or the job duties are compatible with my skill set, so the job would be interesting for me and I will be satisfied with my job. Similarly, if any of the employee, of course, the employees are serving in the organization and putting effort in the organizational goal accomplishment, so the employees expect a decent amount from the organization, and if the employees are getting the expected amount of money or financial benefit from the organization, they will be satisfied with their job. Similarly, interdependence. If I am dependent upon my like finance department of my organization, and they are providing me the required amount of resources to complete my job, so I will be satisfied. Similarly, if we talk about the feedback, if the employee is getting a constructive feedback by which the employee is able to improve the performance, so it will help the employees to be satisfied with the job, or we can say a constructive feedback will enhance the job satisfaction of the employee. Similarly, social support is another reason to job satisfaction. If the employee is getting support at the workplace, if an employee is in trouble and the colleagues are helping the employee, then he will be satisfied with the job. Similarly, if the interaction with co-workers is sportive and healthy, um, the employee is having a good uh, behavior from the co-workers, then he will be satisfied with the job. Similarly, personality is a very important factor for the job satisfaction. The way you think, the way you translate the things, the way you find the thing, your perception about the workplace, colleagues, your job, it depends, and it detects your level of satisfaction. Like if a person who knows to identify or find out positive side in the job, in co-workers and the workplace, definitely that worker would be satisfied with the job. But a person who is kind of pessimistic, like the person is not able to find positive things, or he just focuses on the negative one, so his job satisfaction level would be higher. Sorry, his job satisfaction would be lower. Then there is core self evaluation. If I'm confident about having the ability to perform my job, I will be satisfied with my job. But if a worker is not confident about his skills set to perform the job, he will be not that much satisfied, or his job satisfaction would be lower. Here is the impact of satisfied and dissatisfied employees on the workplace. If a person is getting the same thing which he was expecting from the job, he will be satisfied, his performance will be increased, he would love to be at workplace and doing his job. But a person who is not getting what he was expecting from the job, of course, he will be dissatisfied, he will not be giving maximum output, he will be putting lesser amount of effort in doing his job, he will not be that much loyal with the organization. His perception uh, about the colleagues, about the job, about the workplace would be negative. So, if the job satisfaction of the employee is higher at the job, uh, at the workplace, in this way, the higher job satisfaction, like what he was expecting from the job, he is getting the same from the job. He would love to perform his job, so his job performance would be higher. Similarly, a person who is not getting what he was expecting from the job, his job satisfaction level is low, so he will not be able to perform well. In this way, his job performance would be higher. Job performance over here is the behavior of the employee. Similarly, the job satisfaction is higher, the organizational citizenship behavior of the employee will be higher. Organizational citizenship behavior is the kind of helping behavior of the employee, like the person or the employee would be ready to help his colleagues when they will be in trouble or not able to perform well or not able to accomplish their task on time. So he will be there to help them and to help them to complete their job. So higher job satisfaction would lead to the higher organizational citizenship behavior. Similarly, the job satisfaction is low. The person is not getting what he was expecting from the job. He would not be ready to help his colleagues. Similarly, if the job satisfaction is higher, the customer satisfaction will be higher. A person who is expecting the same in the job, what he was expecting in the job, he is getting the same in the job. He will be able to deal with the customer in a better manner, so customer satisfaction would be higher. Similarly, if the job satisfaction of the employee is lower, then he will not be able to satisfy to deal with the customers in a satisfactory manner. So customer satisfaction would be lower. Similarly, if job satisfaction is higher, the absenteeism rate of the employee would be lower. A person who is getting the same from the job, what he was expecting, so he would love to be at the workplace and doing his job, so his absenteeism rate would be lower. But the other case, a person is not getting what he was expecting from the job, he used to be absent from the workplace, so his absenteeism rate would be higher. Similarly, job satisfaction higher case would lead to low turnover. Turnover is the actual behavior of leaving the job, or simply you can say leaving the job. In case of higher job satisfaction, there is no need to leave the job. A person is satisfied with his job, so he will be continuing his job. So his turnover would be lower. But in case of low job satisfaction, the turnover rate would be higher. Similarly, in case of higher job satisfaction, workplace deviance would be lower. The workplace deviance can be considered as the harmful behaviors or doing not the expected level of job, or putting lesser amount of effort in the job, or having issues with the colleagues, or being absent from the workplace, using your scheduled time in your personal commitments and phone calls, and being absent from the workplace. So, in case of high job satisfaction, lower workplace deviance would be there, and in case of low job satisfaction, this deviance would be higher. Now, I would like to ask you how employee job satisfaction can be increased. What organization should do to increase the job satisfaction? Thank you very much.